All right, guys, so we have crazy protesting and rioting going on right now in Paris, France. And this is actually going on all across France, but specifically people there in the French capital are upset over the tax increase on gasoline set forth by Macron and the government there in France. Now, this is all in response to a climate change tax increase. That's specifically what went on here. And what's interesting about this protest and these riots is it's a combination of both left, right, and even sort of people who are in the middle that don't have much stake in political ideology. A lot of these protesters are middle-class, white, working French people, which is a bit unlike what you would see from like a far left, Antifa protest, or even like a far right protest. It's not entirely politically motivated. A lot of these people are protesting because simply it's hitting their wallets. Price in France, many are reporting it's up to $6-7 a gallon, and some of these protest videos are filmed directly in Champs-Élysées, which is almost like the Times Square there in Paris. So this is right in the center of Paris. I mean, this is pretty wild. And there were 75,000 people who showed up to this. Now, the violent protesters and rioters were much less than that. You only had a few thousand violent Yellow Jacket protesters. And these people, some of them are starving at this point because of these tax increases. And this is something I had just come across. Reports of snipers on the roofs there. Right here. Check this out. Snipers apparently watching and also reportedly picking off some protesters. You can see video here. I'm going on the timeline of her name's Reagan here. She's a follower of mine, R. Reaganhart, on Twitter, at R. Reaganhart. Follow her. She's been, retweeting a lot of this stuff, and a lot of interesting, just wild videos. You can see that a lot of people are reporting that was a sniper bullet. You can even see Jack Prosobiec here with the video of the snipers on the roof. So this is getting out of control. This has been going on for a few weeks now, and it's just getting more and more violent, more and more crazy. And look, I don't condone violent protesting at all, but it's interesting. This is not necessarily politically motivated. It's just hitting people's wallets. You have the far left and the far right both teaming up and protesting. And this is what happens when you have a disconnected leadership that is just totally off their rocker, that thinks they can just get away with anything. And that's exactly what we have here with the Macron regime in France. And by the way, almost everybody agrees with these Yellow Jackets in France. You have 2 out of every 3 people. That's almost 70% of people in France who are saying, yes, we stand with a lot of these protesters. We don't agree with all the violence. Most of the people of France don't agree with the violence going on. But the whole idea behind it, everyone is agreeing with. And just the attitude of the leadership there in France and really all of Europe. This is going to spread. It will be the downfall of the EU and the downfall of many of the disconnected sort of bourgeois, I guess you could say. The communists will love that term. Leaders there that are just so out of touch with the common people. And that's why you have populism rising as well and the far right, because, Macron and that crowd and the leadership of the EU and many of these nations in France are just, their time is numbered. Their days are numbered. And that's pretty obvious. So I'll leave links to all this. Continue to cover it because I don't think it's going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. So let me know what you think. Drop a comment below. If you believe in what I do here at Press Reset Earth, also feel free to become a Patreon. Links for that in the description box below. A patron. And also, there's other ways you can contribute as well. Let me know what you think. Once again, it's been Press. Keep your head up, stay real, and no fear.